and nope, this is what my friend did. This is what made her successful. This is how she got complete privacy. So
welcome back to our Customer Service at Scale series, where we interview the experts to help your business grow. Today, we're sitting down with Northwest Customer Service Manager Tim. And Tim, we're gonna jump right in. We've always been trained that the customer is right, but sometimes that's not the case. They're just wrong. How do you approach a situation where the customer might actually benefit from something other than what they think they need?
yeah, it happens more times than not, especially in today's day and age where people can go research, do everything on their own, get their own conclusions, and then come to you with already a conclusion based on what they need.
I Googled it. That's what I need.
Exactly. Or they ask their friend, and this is what my friend did, so I want to do the exact same thing. We had somebody that called in that privacy was their big concern. But what they had done is they had reached out to their friend. They had reached out online and got all these details as far as how they could be private for their business. And their friend was the one who told them, I had to start 2 LLCs because I had to have a holding company, and then I had to have that holding company own my other company in order to have complete private.
Which is pretty common.
It is. It is pretty
states.
common. It is pretty common in some states, exactly. The reason her friend had to do that is because in the state that she was forming in, the state wasn't completely private. So the only way to do that was to have a holding company and then have that company be the owner of the other LLC that she's going to be operating. So it was a matter of getting down to the root problem, and it was privacy. The states were different, and the customer didn't know that. So the state that she was actually wanting to go into was Wyoming. Wyoming already had great privacy rules. They're already going to cover that aspect. So there was no need to form 2 different LLCs because her state already had those privacy laws. She was pretty adamant on wanting to get set up with her friend, and nope, this is what my friend did. This is what made her successful. This is how she got complete privacy. So it was a game of trying to get her to understand the difference between her and her friend, the difference between what state her friend was in versus the state that she was going into, and the difference that each state has different rules and regulations and laws. Wyoming is very private right from the beginning, so there is no need to form a holding company in order to get that complete privacy. And once you kind of word it to them and what is in it for them and why we're positioning this, and not just like, nope, you need to do this because this is what I'm telling you to do.
Okay.
People tend to have a better grasp and understanding of where you're coming from. So it's all about perspective. It's all about understanding. It's all about being empathetic to why they're thinking this is the right solution, but then inserting yourself as that expert because you know the difference between the 2 states. You know why their friend did this, and you know why they need to go this route and not do what their friend did.
Privacy is huge. Wyoming is one of just 4 states that allows you to form your LLC while keeping your name off public records. Educating your customers as to what they need rather than what they want is key in maintaining your clientele. Share with us how you do it down in the comments below so we can all learn together. Then stick around. Coming up, Tim is going to explain his best advice for new entrepreneurs and how to handle a customer like that. So Tim, in our modern world, customers are always coming to you going, hey, I know exactly what I need. What do you tell someone else who's facing that same problem? How do they handle that customer who comes in with a solution they want, but it might not be what they need?
Yeah, it's a fine walk, and it's a balance. I guess my first thing I tell somebody is just be patient. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the customer, because it's going to take time to gain a better understanding in order to move them forward. It doesn't happen right away. So be patient with what you're doing, but most importantly, be patient with the customer. They came in, they had a bunch of research. From their perspective, everything that they've done up to this point is right, and they have a full-blown conclusion of where they need to go.
Yeah.
You have to listen to understand rather than listening to reply. And if that clarity of understanding isn't there, then don't be afraid to ask questions to gain that better understanding, to know what are they really trying to accomplish. Because it's never us wanting to push my agenda on you. I certainly would never want to tell you how to run your business. But I would want to help you if I saw you, let's say, for example, walking in front of a bus. Yeah. I'd want to pull you back there and be like, hold on, you don't want to do that. based on what you want to accomplish for your needs in your business, this is the route that you should go to your specific situation. So it's a delicate balance, understanding, listening, but then also not being afraid to ask those questions, to challenge what they're trying to do so that we can use our expertise in the right way.
Tim, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. And if you have any additional questions about customer service, leave them in the comments below. But as always, hit subscribe. We have more customer service insights coming up.